I'll put it under other business or new business. Whatever you want. No. Once you do it under other business, you can just mention it's here and he just wants to sell it. Well, we'll take the letter down there.
Yeah, I think Chad, is that right?
You look really good, Ken. I'm ready when you are, man.
Toby, buddies are going camping. There's like 4 other families going, 12 of them.
Jake's
Okay.
wanting to go to Dubai.
Hey, do you two want to participate in tonight's meeting?
You ready?
Can you have a couple minutes to think about it?
Ask Liz.
7?
I'm still offended with the hot balloon.
I know. I'll work on that next time. Good evening. Good evening. This meeting is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There will be time for public participation as indicated by the agenda. Visitors requesting permission to address the board on a specific agenda item should sign in before the meeting starts on the form on the board table. The board requests a discussion time limit of 3 minutes on any specific agenda item. And we ask visitors to make only 1 appearance per item. We ask those addressing the board to speak from the podium and state their name and address. Board Policy 0167.3 dictates that personnel issues will not be addressed. Concerns about individual employees of the district should be brought to the superintendent or designee. The meeting site is fully accessible. Any person requiring further accommodation should contact the superintendent at the school corporation central office. As is customary, we begin with a prayer. If you'll bow with me, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. We pray for those in the world who are suffering as a result of extreme weather and fires and natural disasters. We pray that you would be with us this evening as we make decisions and have conversations that affect our students and our community. In Jesus' name, amen. The Board of Trustees respectfully request those guests and visitors in attendance be courteous and silence their cell phone. Call to order. Pledge of Allegiance, Mr. Hurd.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Wyrie is absent, but he is excused for a work commitment. But we still have a quorum present. Mission statement, Mr. Merritt.
Lebanon Community School Corporation will cultivate and reach every student by influencing and enriching their lives through the power of education, and do so in a positive and safe learning environment.
Thank you. Good news, Dr. Taylor.
Yes, thank you, Keith. We have this evening several items of good news to share. First, at Harney Elementary, we're pleased to announce a Harney teaching staff, Miss Leah Byers, who's a recent graduate student at Bowling Green University, was asked by one of the professors who's writing a textbook if she would make a contribution to the textbook in the area of teacher instruction. And so she will be contributing to a college textbook entitled Teaching Language Arts in Grades 4 and 8. She'll be writing about, she will contribute with an article on the writing process, so that's quite an honor for us to have one of our teachers engaged in developing teacher training materials. So in addition to that, at the middle school, we're pleased to announce that the Lebanon Middle School has kicked off their 8th grade service learning project this last Wednesday, September 13th. This is a huge event for us, as this is the second time that we have done this project at the school. Last spring, if you recall, it was piloted with 270 students and was very successful. This year, the project will involve every student in the 8th grade, 257 students altogether, along with 12 teachers. And there are 7 projects that the students were able to choose from, and the students will serve on 2 projects each, and they will complete those by the end of the year. This first project will run from September 13th to the end of December, and then the students will have a second opportunity for service learning in the spring semester. So if you recall, very well received. They were out in the community. Mrs. Schultz was kind of the initial motivator for that last year, but Mr. Dungy and his staff have done a real good job in moving along the concept of pride and getting our students actively involved. And at the high school, we have a couple items of good news to share. First, Lebanon High School is proud to announce that 2 LHS seniors have been recognized by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation as National Merit Scholars. Senior Joshua Newman reached the level of National Merit Commended status, which is for a student who scores in the top 98 percentile on the PSAT. And LHS senior Kate Stanley has reached the level of National Merit Semifinalist, and she is now in the application process for the finalist level. Kate's score was only 3 points from a perfect score, so she has an excellent chance of reaching the highest level for this very prestigious scholarship. The finalists will be named and scholarship winners will be announced in the spring of 2018. So our congratulations to those 2 LHS seniors, as well as the staff and all the faculty at the high school. And then to continue that, it's my pleasure to announce that Lebanon High School is a finalist for the AP Tippin School of the Year recognition. In the AP instruction, the school has been nominated and is a finalist for that recognition. And then specifically, science teacher Mr. Mike Dollins was nominated for the AP Science Teacher of the Year. Now, those winners will be announced at the University of Notre Dame on October 6th, and so we're very excited about that. The AP Tippin is an AP teacher investment program here in Indiana, and a number of faculty members here at the high school have been involved with that. Part of that is also Mr. Brian Passwater, who came back to us from Notre Dame. And so we have several teachers in science, math, and English language arts. So we're very excited about not only the local recognition, but the state recognition that members of the LCS family receive. And that's the good news I bring for the board this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 2, approval of minutes for the August 15th, 2017 regular session. Like a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any comments or discussion on that? All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. The minutes are approved. Item 3, certify executive session content for both August 15th and August 30th executive sessions. Like a motion to approve those, please?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion or comments on those? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Audience to visitors. No one has signed in this evening. Item 5, consent agenda for routine business matters. Mr. Tate.
Yes, my pleasure to report to the board and the community this evening our financial report for the month. As of ending August 31st, our general fund shows 60.80% expended and transportation operation at 59.84% expended. At this time, I'd ask for approval of payments of claims numbered 43448 through 43760, and the payrolls of August 18th, September 1st, and September 15th. The 3 payrolls totaled $2,144,778.48. The claims total $1,852,042.93 for a total of $3,996,821.41.
Okay, thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the financial report as of August 31st, 2017.
I'll
And
make that
approve.
motion.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Michael. Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving the financial report, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Thank you.
All right, and item B, approve claims for payment 43448 through 43760, and payrolls for August 18th, September 1st, and September 15th, 2017.
I'll make the motion.
All right,
Second.
any questions or discussion on that? Okay. All in favor of approving item B, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Item 6, agenda for routine staff matters. matters. Dr. Taylor.
Thank you. We have two items this evening under staff matters. Item A is classified employees, and item B is extracurricular account employees, and I would ask the board take those two considerations as a consent agenda. First, under classified, we have 23 employees that we're bringing to the board's attention this evening. 10 of those are replacement food service workers. Just now, Jennifer is getting her food service staff in our 6 schools up to speed, and so we have those food service workers. We also have this evening 8 substitute teaching candidates that we bring to the board for approval, and would thank Mrs. Ottinger for the work she does in recruiting and with Ms. Shue training those, so we're very good in substitute teachers. Then we have also a special ed instructional aide at the middle school, an avid tutor and aides for Indiana United Methodist Home, and it's also my pleasure this evening under classified to present to you Mr. Levine's recommendation for the LHS Athletic Secretary, Ms. Jennifer Adams. Then under ECA, Mr. Steve Smith, Athletic Director at the middle school, is requesting approval for the following volunteer coaches: Sean Keith for tennis, Steve Ross for coach for girls golf, and Courtney Fusel for 6th grade cheering coach. And Mr. Levine is also requesting approval for the following volunteer at Lebanon High School: Mr. Evan Stanbaugh is a volunteer football coach. If you recall, Mr. Stanbaugh is a recent graduate of LHS who's attending Franklin College, but also is helping the team as he is available, so we wanted to get him in the board's approval for volunteering with the football team. So I present those for the board's consideration and review this evening.
Okay, great, thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the routine staff matters, both classified and ECA, please.
I'll make the motion.
A second.
Second.
Any questions on those items? All right. All those in favor of approving both item A and B, classified and ECA, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Motion passes.
Thank you, Ms. Keith and board. At this time, though, I would ask Mr. Levine, we do have Jennifer Adams with us, and Jennifer, we're pleased to have her on board. We know it takes a village to keep track of Mr. Levine, and so we think we've got the right person to be the mayor of that village. So, Phil, if you could, please introduce your new secretary.
Yes, it's a pleasure to introduce Jennifer Adams as the new secretary. She's come back after a week, so I'm very excited. And comes with a lot of experience in the education, and teaching people to assistant lead coach. So we're very excited to have her.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I had the opportunity. And we hope you enjoy the job, too. So, thank you, Phil. And Jennifer, welcome. We're glad you're on board, and we're excited about you being part of LCSC and our family here. So, thank you very much. Thank you, board. I appreciate that.
Sure. Thank you. All right. Items 7 through 10 are all Mr. Tate. So we will start with the resolution authorizing refunding, please.
Okay, so all these items deal with the refunding and refinancing of the bond from 2011. Starting with number 7, before refunding bonds are sold, it's recommended to obtain approval from the Board of Trustees for the refunding program. This resolution constitutes board approval of a minimum savings target, the hiring of the professional groups, and the execution of the documents and certificates in order to complete the refunding. The next document, the resolution of reapproving Building Corporation. In order for Building Corporation to issue tax-exempt bonds, the IRS requires that the governmental entity approve the Building Corporation and authorize it to issue tax-exempt bonds on behalf of the school corporation. This resolution contains the required language by the IRS. Number 9 is an amendment to the lease between the Building Corp and LCSC, and number 10 is a supplement to the master continuing disclosure undertaking. So these can be dealt with separately or all as one, as the board wishes.
Okay.
If you have any questions or concerns, Mr. Kent Francis here, and also a representative from UMBA is here.
Any questions on any of these 4 items? That being said, I think we'll take all 4 together and vote for them as a group.
Sounds good.
Okay. items, 7, 8, 9, 10. Need a motion, please, to take all those motions together to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of approving those items signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
Okay, thank you. We will
Motion's
move
passed.
forward with that.
great, thank you.
Thank you, Board.
LCSC website and app presentation. Mrs. Tottery.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have had a very exciting year of updating our website, and along with that, there are two other components that go with that. So I wanted to provide you with a little update of where we are and what we are still looking forward to. We updated for a couple of reasons. The primary reason being ADA accessibility, making sure that our website met the standards for accessible design so that people could use it regardless of any issues they had, maybe with color, using screen readers, using keyboards instead of mice, all of that. So we kept all of that in mind to make sure that we were in compliance with ADA, but then we also wanted to look at the design of how we have our website and the different things that we have on there. So just some usability statistics and why this is important. The design is really vital to a user's impression of your website, but then also your product. And so they say 94% of your first impression is design related. So visuals are very important, but content is also very important. Most people will not come back if they can't find what they need. So keeping those things in mind, we wanted to streamline what we currently had, make the design a little bit more updated, and then also make sure that any content that anyone needed was easy to find. The standard when you're thinking about how to design a website is that people don't want you to make them think. They are much more likely to find what they need and have a successful experience on your website if things are organized in multiple pages, broken down by menus, sub-pages, subsections, that type of thing, versus having to scroll a big long page and find that information. So that was a bit of a change from where we currently were. And so what we did is when we redesigned our website, we kept all of those things in mind, and with our primary focus on ADA compliance, we've been working to update and then also train our staff members who update and manage our web pages right now. We began this project in January of 2017. We assembled a team to prioritize what our goals were and then research solutions to meet those goals, to streamline not just updating our website, but streamlining communications across the board. And I'm very excited that in February we found a great tool to do that. We worked with Blackboard to, we are currently using them for our mass notification, emergency situations and things like that. We are already using Blackboard, so with a simple upgrade, we were then able to bring them on for our website and then the release of a mobile app too. So in March and April then, we began working to move our content from the old site to the new site, and we revealed our new site in May. In May, we also trained about 10 building representatives to update and moderate the content on that website. Today, we began training again. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll train about 30 additional staff members. We have a lot more people who are moderating sections of their website, so there's going to be a lot more information on there. And we are also anticipating an app release this month as well. So when we sat back to look at the design of our website, one of the philosophies that we really just subscribe to, and when I say we, I couldn't have done this without Kelly Botworth and Chad Martin and Bronson Smith. They were phenomenal. We had a great experience working together. I think that we made some really, I'm excited about the decisions that we made. And when we sat down to put together everything that we did, we try to tell ourselves that our website is now a welcome mat. It's not a garage sale. So when you log onto our website, you have to really, there's menus and different sections for what you're looking for versus everything being kind of right there in your face all at once. And so we released that website again in May. We did a little video release to kind of introduce the community to what that looked like. You might have seen it. It looks just like this, and so this just gives users a little tour of what they can find. I'm the most excited about the calendar. This has a place for parents with students at multiple schools to subscribe to events on one building or all of our buildings. So our new website has been up and running since May. Another great thing about our site is that it's also mobilely responsive. So today, the statistics show that about 90% of people are using their mobile devices to do online web searches. And so what we have found is now that anyone who visits our website, if they are on a smartphone, it responds to that smartphone versus them having to make it bigger or smaller with their fingers. They have access to these menus. So these are some screenshots of what our website looks like if you visit it on your smartphone. Also, though, a lot of users today, with the use of smartphones, instead of using the actual web to search, mobile apps are important. And so one thing that we were really excited about is we are offering a mobile app. We are anticipating that release sometime soon. And the mobile app is basically going to be an app version of everything that our website has. And it's fantastic because we don't have to go in and then moderate the content on an app too. Everything pulls from our website. So here's a sample video of the types of things that the mobile app is going to offer. And this will be customized for LCSC when our app is ready to go. We are currently in the approval process with Apple right now. It pulls top stories. It pulls together all of our social media or any other type of app that we run within there. So Skyward, there's going to be a portal to Skyward. Eventually, we have the ability to add other things as well. Headlines, feature stories, news reports, press releases, all of that will run through our app. Again, like our calendars, parents or students can select what school buildings they're going to be able to follow the activity feed for and the calendars for. That will change then the top stories that they receive. And it also plays really nicely with our mass notification system. It will house a directory so people can find any staff member that they would like to contact in their school contact information. We can upload profiles of all of our staff members. Right now, we only have Dr. Taylor's in there so far.
Are you in charge of this? I mean, this app, if somebody wants to add something, do they contact you, or is it each building principal? Are they in charge of their own?
It kind of depends. The app pulls very heavily from the website, so a lot of the stuff that the app is going to show us is already on the website, which is managed by building managers. So sometimes, depending on what building it is, there's a couple of people. But we do have the access to go in and add more. There's other features, like you can add tip lines and things in there. We can add different resources that aren't on our website. So if there's something specific, we can definitely figure out how to make that happen. One thing that's really nice about the app is that it completely integrates with our website and our mass notifications. So again, it eliminates somebody going to multiple places to update that information. Actually, when we put out a mass notification now, we're going to be able to do click a button and it will post to our website. Anyone who has the app downloaded will get a push notification on their phones. It will go directly to social media in addition to the phone calls and emails that we already send out. Users, again, can customize it by their building and activity type, and then we can portal to other resources that we use. So Skyward, parents will have the option they can tap in there and it will take them right to Skyward. This is a preview of where our app is right now. So you can see that it is pulling some top stories. This one, just based on the time of day that I took these screenshots, the most recent things that we had posted, the Lebanon Middle School Blood Drive, which is on Thursday, it pulled that, and then Perryworth's Walkathon tomorrow, so it pulled that as well. And I had the activity stream set up for district-wide, so that's why you're seeing from all different sites. But again, all of that is pulling from something that already exists. So it's just kind of aggregating that stuff right there for somebody to access without us doing an additional step to make sure that this information is there for them. They can then, so this button is for an activity stream. This button is for the calendar, and like with the website, our users can choose what calendars they follow and also what types of activities. So if I wanted to find only the athletic events at the middle school, I could go into that calendar and check those options, and then I could sync them with my phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android. Our directory will be in there. News, which will be our headlines, our press releases, things like that. We have a sports scores app, and so by clicking that, they'll link directly to whatever sport they can choose, whether, you know, from 6th grade tennis to 9th grade boys basketball to, you know, varsity softball. They can choose what sports they want to follow. There's contact information, resources which we can add to beyond what's already on our website if we want to, and then also a link to Skyward. And then this is just a sample of what that activity stream looks like. So then, along with this comes, so this was a 3-part process. We started with the website, and then we began the training on the app and the mass notifications. Came with just a general upgrade to our current mass notification system. We were already using Blackboard, we just got a different interface. But the nicest thing about the new interface is it does allow for that create once and post everywhere. So in addition to those phone calls and emails, they'll get the push notifications, they'll get the pop-up banners. We won't have to push those out and then also go to social media. It's going to go directly to social media. And it also is going to give, with some account settings and preferences, give our users the ability to opt in or opt out of certain types of communication, as long as that communication is non-essential. So if we designate something as an emergency, like a school closing or a delay, or something that relates to the health and safety, then they're still going to get those phone calls, but this is going to make it so we can still offer phone calls, but if somebody doesn't want a phone call about parent-teacher conferences or whatever's going on, they can opt in and just get text messages instead. So it gives them a little bit more control, and I think it'll give us a lot more opportunity to use it for frequent reminders. So that is where we are with our communication system upgrade. Does anyone have any questions?
So Jen, the app is a download from the App Store, correct?
It will download
Free
from the
download.
App Store. We're stuck in the approval process with Apple. They say 24 hours, so it's supposed to be tomorrow, but I won't have that confirmation for sure until then. So I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to hear. Once we have it, though, they've provided us with all kinds of banners and things so that we can promote that for social media, get that out on our website, get that out so that people know that they can download that app. With those new building users that came in this week and trained for the website, and I have another group coming in next week, we, I think, are getting a lot more comfortable with the new site, and so I think it's going to be even more functional than it already is. So there's a lot of good changes coming over the next couple of weeks, I think.
So while Jen was very gracious in her acknowledgement of Chad and Kelly and Bronson, I also want to make sure we acknowledge the work she's done. In the short time she's been here representing LCSC in her capacity as social media and public relations, I think we've seen a tremendous new face, from our branding to where we're going with our color schemes with our 6 schools, to moving us rapidly into a very impressive digital presence. So Jen, I want to thank you and really appreciate all the work you've done.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you for the
thank you.
opportunity to do it. I really enjoy it. And along those lines, the brand update. So I have to also thank the elementary principals. Were phenomenal. We had a great time collaborating. I didn't know that we could discuss what color squares should be in the eyes and whether his mouth should be open or closed. But we have been working on a draft of a tiger cub logo for our elementary schools. And we have finalized this design and we're moving forward for the official reveal. But this is a preview of what he looks like. So we had a lot of discussion on how to make him look friendlier, but not too cartoony, and look like he belongs to our athletic tiger. So that's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to welcome everyone to Tiger Cub Country when we get these new pieces rolled out. And then also, something exciting coming up. Last year we hosted our first State of LCSC event in February, and so I just wanted to give you the date. We are scheduled to host our second in February 23rd, about 10 a.m., and we are excited, and I think it's going to be another successful event. So I hope you can make it.
I'm on the website regularly, and I will say it is a huge improvement over what used to be there. You can find things now, you can navigate it, and it's
Great. I'm glad to hear that.
much more user-friendly, so.
Good, thank you. And it's definitely a learning process, so if there's something that you think should be in a certain place, we're absolutely experimenting and trying to make it the most user-friendly. Our primary audience for the website is the public, not necessarily our teachers or our, internal employees. We're really using Canvas a lot, very heavily for them. So we want it to be as user-friendly, so somebody off the street can find anything they need about LCSC with 2 or 3 clicks.
Jennifer, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Outstanding.
Thank you, good job.
Thank you.
I've had the privilege and challenge of making a number of tough decisions in my tenure as superintendent, but working with the elementary principals and picking a tiger mascot that they didn't want to name Bobby the Tiger for some reason. It's been a very enjoyable process as we've gone to integrating our pride and the character education with how we're rebranding and the new look, and everyone has just done a phenomenal job, and Jen with the kind of visuals that she's done. But I have to thank each of the building principals, because if you go to each of our schools now, you'll see a very strong presence of what we're pushing with the character aspects of pride. So it's been fun. Thank you very much.
All right, item 12, new business. Mr. Tate.
Yes, from the administration of Perry Worth, requests for their annual 4th grade trip to Camp Tecumseh, which I support. There's a letter in your background notes, but basically this is for 62 students, 3 staff, 14 chaperones. Dates are May 9th and 10th, and other details are there. So recommend approval of that overnight trip for Perry Worth 4th grade.
Okay. I'd like a motion to approve Perry Worth's 4th grade trip to Camp Tecumseh, please.
I will make the motion.
I'll second.
Any questions on that? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Other business. Mr. Fettig, would like to give an update on the preschool? Mm-hmm.
This year, we launched our second classroom, in school pre-K, and we were extremely pleased that our enrollment beginning the year was 64% higher than our bottom. So we enrolled 19 students, we have 10 at Perry Worth and 9 at Stokes. We have a capacity of 20 in each classes, but our students
Thank you, Pascal. And let me reiterate that it has been a very positive addition that we've added to our pre-K 12 program, and we're seeing some good results. And as Pascal says, we've got a couple of, really 3 really strong instructors and getting very positive feedback. So we appreciate the board's support and our partnership with Pascal and Boone County Mental Health. So thank you very much for the update, Pascal.
And I would say that, again, I said it last year, that the pleasure we have with the administration and the is one of the things.
They hear that all the time.
Great, thank you. All right, upcoming dates. October 3rd will be a special session here at 7 p.m. To discuss the budget. And October 17th is our regular board meeting here at 7. Any other business?
If you would, there's a couple of, I'm remiss, I left out a couple of things under the good news and appreciation category. First, I want to recognize the job fair that we held here last night. It was just another phenomenally successful event, and Mrs. Scott and then Mr. O'Rourke and his staff and close to 80 vendors that had not only a presence but had examples of what their industries or universities were representing. And I encountered a number of parents, which is critical. It's good the kids can come and see, but when mom and dad come and can sit and talk and listen and ask very pointed questions, I think we're estimating somewhere around 500 plus people were in and out last night, and we've so exceeded what is traditionally a job fair. You have the FAFSA information, and you have a handful of colleges, and we had representatives from, I think, 4 branches of service. We had skilled trades represented. We had universities represented. We had 2-year degree schools represented. We had our major universities represented. We had a number of industries represented, from the folks at the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers who were here, which is kind of the union side of the house, to representatives of skilled trades that were kind of non-union. It was just an open experience, and so I can't tell you how excited I was to see the number of students here. And this facility, again, is phenomenal in allowing us to host such a large event. We actually went down the athletic foyer and had table after table after table after table. And a special thanks to Mr. Wade Thatcher he was water boy. He kept running bottles of water back and forth to people like it was his career choice. So a lot of hard work by a lot of people, and once again, I think it's just another example of Lebanon Community Schools going above and beyond. And then real quickly, I'd be remiss if I didn't sit here and we have a silent member of our leadership team and the board that is constantly relied upon to help steer us and keep us going, and that's Mr. Franson. And my tenure as superintendent, Kent's been here. He's always a phone call away. He's always responsive, but you don't see or hear much. But I just want to publicly say to Kent, and I know the board acknowledges this, how much we appreciate your involvement.
Thank you.
Not only as a former Lebanon High School graduate, but as a parent of Lebanon Community Schools. I can share without question with my peers that the reliance upon a knowledgeable and understanding and responsive legal counsel is a rarity in the school business. And so while he represents Lebanon Community School Board of Trustees, at his heart, he really is actively engaged. And so, Ken, it's not something we say much. We see a lot of your work, but we don't really get to see you. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you so much.
I'm going to start coming more often.
You're not billing for
Yeah.
that.
Thank you, Mr. Merritt. I didn't want to go there.
Got you
Again,
back.
once again, no good compliment goes unpunished, but no, Kent, I know how much we appreciate it. So thank you very much for what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. That's what we have this
Absolutely.
evening.
Thank you, Ken. All right. Any other business? All right. No further business. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Great.